being a yes, being a yes. Hello, Bethany, Londyn. Hi, how are you? Here on the second to last lesson, I can't believe it, how crazy. Lesson 48, calling in the one. 7 weeks to attract the love of your life. Aw, thanks. So 7 weeks to attract the love of your life. I was put on this fabulous journey by a girlfriend of mine who encouraged me to read it. And then, hi Ireland. And this book is about calling in the one, your soulmate, the most amazing partner. And she gave this to me and then took the challenge a little bit further by doing a message every day on Periscope, which I haven't been 100% perfect at, but I think I've done pretty good. Pretty good. So we've made it to lesson 48 out of 49 lessons. And it's so perfect from what happened last night. Oh, you did? Well, you direct messaged me. I did get your direct message. So this is so perfect on what happened last night, a lesson that I took away this weekend when I was in Vegas from one of my girlfriends who's a freaking powerhouse. And yeah, the lesson is on being a yes to love. And as always, because I'm a workaholic business person, this is so perfect for business as well, because where are we not yeses? Where are we no's in our life, right? And I'm going to give you the mic drop later on. But being a yes to love, let's start there. The quote that she has first is, that's Catherine Woodward Thomas, hi, is, if one wishes to be a lover, he must start by saying yes to love, yes to life, yes to joy, yes to knowledge, yes to people, yes to differences. He realizes that all things and people have something to offer him, and that all things are in all things. I almost got tongue twisted, but that is what it says. All things are in all things, people. So, Catherine starts off by sharing how when she was a child, she was totally in love with the show Batman. And I guess they figured out that it was a ton of girls watching. I never saw it. I mean, I saw the movies, but never saw the show. And so, in knowing that there were a ton of women watching this Batman show, they decided to do a contest to see who gets to go on a date with Adam West. And Catherine wanted so badly to go on a date with with Adam. Yet what they were supposed to do is send in a postcard. Talk about back in the day, right? You send in a postcard saying that you want to enter to get the date. Well, Catherine was so uncomfortable. She wanted it so badly, yet she was so uncomfortable to even share this with her mother, to get the stamp and everything to send it in. And sure enough, next thing you know, it's the day that they're announcing the winner and drawing a name from all the postcards that I'm sure there were there. And she started getting so upset with herself because she never, first off, got past the act of asking her mom for support because she was so embarrassed. And then she decided that she was going to wish and pray and hope upon a star that she would still win and that they'd call her name out miraculously. And they didn't, and she cried herself to sleep. So she cried herself to sleep. She said her heart was broken, and she cried herself to sleep that night, and that's how so many of us are. Because we pine, we search with all our hearts for love, or for the perfect job, or perfect house even. Geez, I used to be in real estate. Oh my goodness, let me tell you about some clients. I could probably do a whole show on that. Anyways, so she says that we're too scared to take the risk of whatever it is to be in the game of having everything that we want. I'm always told, and I love this, that we are only one phone call away. We are one phone call away from having our dreams. So, with that, what's your phone call going to be in after I finish? What's your phone call? What's the risk that you're going to take, that phone call? I'm adding that in as homework. Okay. So we continue to hope and pray desperately that we want this relationship, or for some people, they are in the relationship and maybe it's having the baby. And we all know how difficult it can be to have a baby, especially when you want it that bad. It creates a stress in your body that basically resists it. So she says that she talks about this girl named Deanna. So Deanna is a lovely, bright woman in her 30s that complained for months that she's not meeting any men. Thank you. So she's not meeting any men. She decided that she is not going to join any dating services. She's not going to talk to a relationship person or get online. She's just going to naturally meet this fabulous being in all that she does every day, all day long anyway, because she's a workaholic. So she felt that if she were to put any effort into finding a man, like a dating app or something, of course this is before apps it sounds like, that would mean that she's trying too hard. So she doesn't want to do that because it'd be too contrived. So if you ask her how she thinks about men, she would say that she's picky, she's selective, and she didn't believe that the one she'd be interested in would be working that hard to meet someone. Hello, Argentina. So do you guys see that she's putting up walls left and right? Because first off, she's not willing to put any extra effort into finding the person. She's picky, so most likely this person's walking right by. Well, after working with Catherine, she went to one single mingle event, and she was super uncomfortable, as I can imagine I would be as well, because I've never done one of those. And she was super uncomfortable. However, she went, and she actually did meet somebody that she liked, and they started dating. Now, it didn't last, but because she took that baby step into risk, into her fear of meeting someone at one of these events, she opened up a gateway. She opened up a path to create space for relationship. So from then she decided to join an online dating service. And she's actually dating somebody exclusively at the time that this was written. So sometimes, like me jumping on Periscope and doing all this, and I'm on day 48, I'm super comfortable. But in the beginning, like the first 20, I had anxiety. I was stressed out every single time before I jumped on, and now it's easy. So it's all about stepping into risk, stepping into fear, because every time we do, we're only expanding ourselves into the beautiful that there is available to us. Thank you. Aww. I see, this is why I love jumping on Periscope, because then I have people giving me affirmations that I'm awesome. So funny. Okay. So sometimes we use the excuse that we are being selective as a way to avoid risk. So true. We avoid risk by being selective. We long to surrender ourselves absolutely to the forces of love, yet we want to remain in full control. Yes, I want to be in control all the time. It's so bad. But I recognize it. It's the first step, right? So Deanna was afraid that if she actually let others know how much she wanted a relationship, she might be rejected and humiliated. She was afraid to validate her belief in that all the good ones are taken. So on some level, it was easier for her to be in the fantasy than to create space and be open to the unknown and just diving into these fears, these risks, and seeing what else opened up for her, which obviously it did, because she's dating somebody from an internet site. It is possible. It's possible, people. Thank you. Thank you for all the love. So we complain often about how little love there is in our lives. All the while, we're still closed and defended to the world around us. It's so easy for us to say we want love, say we want an amazing job, say that we want all this stuff, but then we don't let our guard down and risk to be open and available to this whole new level of possibility. So many of us are so busy trying to impress that we've forgotten to be vulnerable as well. Our need to love, our need to look good blinds us to the many opportunities for authentic and meaningful connection that constantly surrounds us. And why this is so powerful is because last night I was at this event, and I have a girlfriend who's so amazing. She's so adorable. And we're talking about relationship, because her name's the Love Catalyst, by the way. Thanks. So we're talking, and she's like, Bethany, what are you willing to let go of to be open to the love of your life, to be open to allow this person to step right in? So she said that, and then she's like, Bethany, you are such an amazing person, but you have so many walls up. I got this feedback last night. You have so many walls up that so many people don't even really understand who you are. What? I'm like, are you kidding me? But hey, this is someone's experience of me. So I really appreciate that she told me, because I had no idea that people feel that way about me. It's people that don't really know me. So it's almost like I create this thick wall and they're like afraid of me. I don't know. But what I would say is that I'm in business mode a lot, as I've always shared. And so this business mode is keeping me from developing some really deep conversations with people. You guys might know me better than some of my friends, apparently. I don't know. So that was surprising to me. But yeah, we learn. And I love that I have friends that are willing to share this with me, because it's powerful. So what Catherine says here is, if I say I'm looking to expand the experience of love in my life, then I've got to become present and available to everyone I meet, and not just the people whom I'm immediately assessing as the ones being available to give me what I want. Who puts walls up? I put walls up. We all put walls up, but apparently mine are really thick, unless you're in my little circle. So that's important for me to look into, because I feel so like open, but apparently even if I can feel that way on the inside, it's not what I'm projecting. So hey, it's a process, it's a journey, and I'm enjoying the journey. And I get to enjoy every single moment of the journey versus thinking I want to be over here. I'm grateful for being right here and learning. I'm 34 years old. 34 years young. 34 years young. So, love comes to us in many ways. We have no idea really how or when it will. Of course I do. Or when it will come. Nor do we know what it will look like when it does. So many of us are looking for the dream, the glance across the room, and poof, poof, it's here. But, sometimes it takes years. There is also this other love, the slow and steady kind, which is often not recognized immediately. It is the love that slips itself through the back door when we aren't looking and steals itself into our hearts while we sleep. Aw, you're so sweet. Aww. So one of the most delightful couples that Catherine knows worked together for many years, and they never thought about dating. In fact, they had their own relationships, and then next thing you know, they were both not in a relationship and on a business trip, and voila, next thing you know, they're dating. You just never know. Sometimes it's like, I remember this one guy that I dated. I had no interest. He wasn't my type, not my look or anything, and next thing you know, it turned out we had like all the same books. We had the same love language from the 5 languages of love, and all of a sudden I was looking at him with different eyes. I was like, shift. Okay, maybe I could date this guy. Wow. So you just never know. You never know. In seeking the one, we look for a person who complements and balances us, as well as someone who shares values and concerns that are similar to our own. However, we don't want our clone. We don't want our clone. So diversity is good. And often we resist that. We resist it, but it's important to embrace it and bring it in. In order to do that, we get to be used to being open and available to ideas and experiences that are new and perhaps foreign. Thank you for all the compliments. I'm going to breathe it in and receive. I'm going to breathe it in and receive. It's important to do. So when getting to know new people, it's important to remain neutral. Not judging, but neutral and receptive until we have the information to see clearly. I mean, how often do you meet someone that you're like, ew, 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 not a fan. Not a fan of this person. And then next thing you know, you get into a deep conversation, or you're with another person and you get into this unique conversation, and next thing you know, you're like, oh, this is kind of a cool person. I was looking through this lens over here, but once I open myself to this lens over here, this is actually a really cool person, and I want to get to know them better. Anyone else? Has that happened to anyone else? Any yeses? You just never know. When getting to know new people, we got to be neutral and release the judgments, release all our lenses, because we choose to look at people through our own lens, and sometimes you just need to take a step out of your box over here or over here and talk from, okay, if I were, oh my gosh, I do this in my job. Okay, I do this all the time for work. Of course, it's so easy for me to go there. If I were Steve Jobs, what would I do? I do that. If I were this person, how would I be with this experience, right? And sometimes it's good to put ourselves in somebody else's shoes, because that way we're learning, and we open ourselves up, and we take like this lens out of our head. Like, I think of like one of those kaleidoscope things where you have different colors at the end, and you keep turning it, and then you see different like artwork at the end. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I think it's called a kaleidoscope, and it's like an old school thing, but you just turn it and put a different lens in, and it's a different color, and it's a different design, and it's so cool. And we get to do that with people. We get to do that with work. We get to do it with everything, because that's what's going to open us up to the creativity and the unknown of what's possible. And moving on. Okay, so this is a long one. It's important when finding your one to be sensitive. No, you don't want to listen to me for 24 hours. It's important to be sensitive to people and see their actions, not only what they're sharing, but their actions. Of course, we all know this. Are they saying anything that says that they're commitment phobic? Are they their word when they say they're going to do something? Do they actually do that? Do they cancel appointments? Are they flaky? Or appointments, let's talk about dates. We're talking about dates. Do they cancel dates? Are they shifting things constantly? Are they being their word? It is important to notice this stuff. Are they being open? Are they being vulnerable and allowing you into that, into their experience and into their world to share that with them? Or are they keeping you at arm's length? You want to know all this. This is important. Julia. She says that to love is to take a risk. If you are someone who only plays games that you believe you can win, you are probably living a life that is way too small and boring. If you are someone who plays only the games that you believe you can win, you are probably living a life that is way too small and boring, even for you. Taking a risk means that there is no sure way to predict what the outcome will be. And you may not get what you want, but you took the risk. And by taking the risk, you're expanding yourself, you're expanding your abilities to bring in goodness, to bring in new good things, and new, lenses. So it's huge. It shows that you are not playing small in your life when you take risks. I mean, have you guys heard of people say, even when you're driving home from work, or doing a normal drive to take a different route. Just doing something as simple as that starts shifting the energy around you, shifting the energy, the vibrations, and opening up new roads and possibilities. And it's important to listen to those signs as well. When you hear this voice, it's like, take a right, do it. You never know what might be there when you took a right. I had a girlfriend, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. She's driving to an audition. She's an actor, and for whatever reason, she felt this voice to take this total wrong exit. So she did. And then she saw this woman on the side of the road trying to load a couch up into her car by herself. And she's like, okay, well, this is weird, but I'm just going to stop and offer to be of service. Who is she? Her name is Allie Marks. And so she stops on the side of the road. She helps this woman out. And next thing you know, it turns out this woman is married to this producer and puts her in all these auditions. So you just never know. And it's not like she got off the side of the road to help this woman with an expectation. She was just being in service. And she felt this inkling urge to go to the right and take the wrong exit. And it turned out to be such a powerful experience for her. You just never know. Like, these kind of, let's call them miracles and guidance is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's about listening. Okay, so a certain amount of resistance is normal. Of course, that's going to be a part of a risk. But you have to remind yourself that the way you have been living is what has produced the life that you currently have. So up until now, you have these results. And if you want a new result, you got to change and shift and do something new. Maybe starting with driving home a different way. There's simply no way to change your life without changing how many risks you are willing to take. You gotta jump in, take risks. And I want to share this from this weekend, this thing that my girlfriend said that was so powerful. She's like, never be a no. Stop being a no now. Be a yes. And if it's not a yes that you want to be, you say yes if. So let's say that someone wants to give you a work job or a career opportunity. And you're like, no, that's not the job I want. Or maybe it's an opportunity for a consulting gig or something like that, and it just doesn't work. But they want you now. They're willing to pay top dollar now, but they want you, and you're booked. So you say, instead of saying no, you say yes if you can wait till February and you're going to pay this X, Y, and Z amount. Yes if. Oh my goodness, that was so powerful for me. Can't wait to use it. Can't wait to use it. Yes if. So you may have to give up some of your defenses of judging and finding faults with everyone that you are out with. You may have to tolerate the discomfort of not being in control. You may have to give up the paralysis that comes from allowing your fear to stop you. Remember, if it wasn't for mistakes, most people wouldn't even be alive right now. You like to be the yes man? Oh God, see, I don't like to be the yes man, but I get to be yes if. I can be yes if. So don't let your fear of making a mistake dictate your chances for love. Remind yourself that at least one good thing came out of every mistake you've ever made, and that is so true. That is so true. And so true for me. Don't let your fear of making a mistake dictate your chances for love. I definitely have a fear of making a mistake because I don't want to go through what I went through before. But hey, you know, if I look back at it, I'm still alive. I'm amazing, and I'm grateful to be in LA, completely change courses in my life, and that probably wouldn't have happened had these horrible situations not occurred, right? So I'm grateful. If we look at yesterday, we get to be grateful for the ugly things that sometimes we don't want. We get to be grateful for maybe not getting the job promotion that we wanted because there's a lesson there. No, yes. You gotta listen, go watch yesterday's scope. It was awesome. So we gotta take a step outside of the sphere, be grateful for the mistakes, the challenges, the rejections, all of it, because it's all beautiful, it's all good. It's all good. Okay. Okay, and the homework. There's always homework. You guys, this is the second to last one. This is powerful stuff. So, no, I don't watch much TV. I just watch Silicon Valley because I'm a startup girl. Oh my gosh. In fact, yeah, I can say this. I may have a show for my startup. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Thank you. But that's really exciting. So I met somebody this weekend, and she's talking to me about having a show for my startup. That would be huge. Okay, so back to the homework. Journaling on these questions. So you write this down, and then you see where your pen takes you. Just let it flow. Don't think about it. Let it flow. I am afraid if I do this, I will ... I'm afraid if I do this, I'll ... Next one, by avoiding doing this, I'm protecting. So this is what we're protecting. These are the walls that we're protecting. So by me staying in business mode, I'm protecting my heart. But really, I'm not protecting my heart because I'm not creating an opening to let love in. The action I could take that would represent a risk are, or the actions that I could take that would represent a risk are, those actions that I'm willing to take are, you're protecting your mom by not dating or something else. And I will take those actions by ... So we get to step into risk. Who are you not willing to call? What are you not willing to say? Because you get to do it today. That's the homework. Oh, and then she has a bonus, and I made that up, but it's good stuff. So the bonus is to fail at least one time today. Fail. Yuck. Fail. Take at least one action today that puts you at a risk for rejection. Make an unreasonable request, a bold attempt to go for something that is pretty much an assured disappointment. Of course, my mind goes straight to business, so I get to stop that. But that's pretty good, right? Are you guys going to jump off and do this? So where have you not been willing to go? You get to go there today. After you do this, it could be like a 5-minute phone call or a message to somebody or a meeting. But stepping into the worst rejection possible and knowing that there's possibility that it might be sunny weather on the other side. It really might. And then the idea is that if you do get rejected, that's going to make all the other ones that much easier. Because if this is the most hardcore one, it's going to make everything so much easier. So also, the bonus is to be more accessible and available than you are normally. So saying yes to invitations and requests and ideas and suggestions that come your way. Or yes if. Yes if we do it this day or this day. So consciously remind yourself throughout the day to remain as open and receptive as possible. And you can just say that, I am open and receptive to rejection. I am open and receptive to love. I am open and receptive to money, abundance. Yes, I am open and receptive. Bam, bam. So that's the lesson for today. It's pretty good, pretty good. Yes, if jumping into that risks. Make that phone call. Make the worst phone call possible. Or say the hardest thing that you've not wanted to say. Maybe you are dating somebody and you really have been dying to share something with them. Do it. Because what's the worst that's going to happen? They reject you and you get to move on and find the right person? Yay. Yay. That's a good thing. Okay, so lesson 49 tomorrow. The last lesson of calling in the one, 7 weeks to, thank you, attract the love of your life or your soulmate is tomorrow. I don't know what that means, but Holding the high watch. That's tomorrow. Holding the high watch. So there you have it, guys. That's it. Any last minute questions for me? Have a nice day. I want you guys to take a risk. Are you guys going to take that risk today? Make that phone call? Say what you haven't said so far, or call the person that you've been afraid to call, because that is the challenge. That is the challenge. What's it going to be? Anyone want to share what they're going to do? Because when we share, we're being accountable, or we're at least starting it. No comments. No comments. And I don't know what the lag time is on this. But, come on, people. Take a risk. Share what you're going to risk. I'm not afraid to speak lovely things. Oh, well, what about the non-lovely things? Maybe you're frustrated with somebody and you get to share that with them. Maybe you get to be in a state of ownership and clearing and share with somebody what you're frustrated with and what you want moving forward. I don't know. That was a take on last night's scope as well. But I got some beautiful things to create here for my startup, so I'm going to jump off. But, yep, one more day, guys. One more day. So thank you for being here with me, and we will talk to you later. Bye. Have a beautiful day. Oh, spread the love. Spread the love. Bye.